Hey! Hey, you! It's Friday night in Texas. We're ready for game night. Set, hut, let's do this! From San Angelo Stadium, this is Game Night Live on Concho Sports Network, Football Friday in Texas. There's nothing like it. My name is Darren Prater. Thank you for joining us for the Game Night Live pregame broadcast tonight. You can find us all over the Concho Sports Network, including on our Facebook page. Just search for Concho Sports. Also on YouTube Live and Amazon Roku TV, or Amazon Fire TV and Roku. Any of those platforms, you're going to find us. We're all over the place. Thank you for joining us tonight. And thanks to our sponsors for making this Friday night possible, including Wingstop. You getting hungry after the game? Go get you a big old sack of wings and those delicious fries from Wingstop, one of our many sponsors tonight, making Game Night Live possible. Want to say a hearty congratulations to the San Angelo Lakeview Chiefs. We were here. We saw it last night. They are 3-0 for the first time since 1983 with the big win last night over the Snyder Tigers, 32-19. You can watch the rebroadcast of that anytime, again, on any of our platforms. You just get on that Facebook, Roku, Amazon Fire, or YouTube. You can check out the victory, coaches' interviews, highlights, and everything from the Chiefs' big win last night. Tonight, the San Angelo Central Bobcats, the Angry Orange, put their 1-1 record on the line against the Cedar Park Timberwolves. The Bobcats have an axe to grind against this team because this Cedar Park team is the team that broke San Angelo Central's 25-game winning streak last year, and that didn't set too well with the Bobcats. So Malachi Brown and the boys get another chance at it tonight. Cedar Park coming in at 1-1. Scheduled for a 7 o'clock kickoff. We're under an hour away from the kickoff tonight here on our pregame show. We had a chance to talk to the head man of San Angelo Central, head coach Brent Davis, and here's what he had to say about this week's matchup.
I mean, it always feels good to get the first one under your belt and, just get you off the zero thing. Well, I mean, we played really good on defense, and they only had one first down in the first half. I thought we played about as good as we can play, and very proud of them. We kind of challenged them. We gave up a lot of points to Shoemaker, and we needed to play better. And, they stepped up and met that challenge. We had a great week of practice, and I think that showed on Friday. I mean, Malachi's got a lot of experience. He played 9 games last year for us and did really well and got better each week, and I think you're going to see him grow. First game of the year, none of us played very good. It wasn't on him. He threw for over 300 yards. He just had some picks. He tried to force a ball sometimes, and we're getting those things corrected, and where he doesn't have to do it all by himself. He doesn't feel like he has to do it all by himself, and the more support we get him, the better he's going to get. Well, they're good, man. They're real good. They got a great defensive front. They got an all-state guy back at nose guard, Ben Bell. He's as good a lineman as I've ever seen in high school football. He's got a big motor and goes hard and he's disruptive in the backfield. And we have got to find a way to to block him. He plays nose guard for him, and he's right in the middle of the defense, and he causes a lot of problems. We got to have a plan for him, which we feel like we do, and they remind me a lot of how our kids play. They're super good kids that play extremely hard, and you can see that on film, and it's going to be a big challenge, but that's why we play them. I want to play good teams. I want to play teams that show you where you got to get better, and I want to play teams that when the game's over, you're a better football team for playing them. And I think that'll be the case on Friday. Yeah, he started against us last year for the first time, and he's a player. I mean, he's a dual threat guy. He's real hard to tackle. And he's got really good quickness. Throws the ball extremely well on the run, and throws their short game really well. And they've got 2 really good receivers to go with him, and they're real similar to what they were last year. A fast, get after you defense and enough weapons on offense to hurt you, and the quarterback kind of makes all that go, and he's just a junior. Last year this was his first start as a sophomore, and he played really well, and then he took the job and he ran with it, and he definitely hasn't he's just gotten better, so he's going to be a big challenge for our defense too. But like I keep saying, that's exactly what we're going to see when we play our teams in district. We're going to see a team a lot like Cedar Park. They've all got good quarterbacks. They all play good up front, and we've got to figure out how to handle those things. Yeah, we just got to do our job. That's basically all there is to it. Like we did last week. Just do your job. Don't try to do too much. Let the defense, take care of itself. We got to make sure that we are fitting where we need to fit and tackle when we get there. We're getting better at open field tackling. I thought we open field tackled against Del Rio extremely well, and we're getting better. We're growing as a football team, and I think Friday we're going to grow some more. And I think we're going to go out and play well. We play well at home. I thought we had a great crowd Friday, and I know this town will get behind this team, and that's going to go a long ways in our home games.
San Angelo Central head coach Brent Davis, his thoughts this evening. We will talk to Coach Davis immediately after the game tonight, so be sure and join us a little later on for the post-game report. Here on tonight's pregame show for Game Night Live, let's do our Friday night flashback, going back to 2018. Last year against this Cedar Park team on the road, it was a transition game for San Angelo Central. They were a different team. They had to be. Quarterback Maverick McIver was out for the year, so it was the first game, the first complete game, that Malachi Brown was the head man playing quarterback for San Angelo Central. The night wasn't without its growing pains. They would fall to the Timberwolves last year 37-22, but they didn't go down without a fight. The Wolves led 28-6 at the half and snapped the Bobcats' 25-game regular season winning streak. But at the half, they were up 28-6 and looked like they were going to run away with it. Marred by penalties, the first half penalties, mistakes, out of sorts, that kind of thing. That's to be expected with a new quarterback starting, especially a sophomore quarterback. In the second half, though, there was a little bit of spark to this team. A 60-yard interception return by Jay Sean Hall, a 32-yard strip fumble by Tristan Lopez. Some of the highlights for the evening for the Bobcats. So they did do some good things in the game, but it was too late, and the comeback fell against this very tough Cedar Park team. In Brown's first outing as the quarterback, he did pretty good. He only threw one interception, threw for 144 yards, and he was the leading rusher for the Bobcats. But still, a hard defeat because the 25-game winning streak got snapped. But hey, that's okay. They get a chance at some revenge tonight as the Angry Orange about to make their way out on the field here at San Angelo Stadium to warm up. And we'll be back to talk about the players to watch for the Bobcats and the Timberwolves. That's coming up next when San Angelo Game Night Live continues.
RO Express is San Angelo's local affordable drinking water choice. Water plays a vital role in our daily life, and having the best drinking water for your family is important. Rent a quality reverse osmosis system starting at $28.50 a month with a free local standard installation. So why overpay for something you can get right here for less?
Call my Uncle Larry.
You heard the girl. Call Angelo RO Express at 325-277-8611 for affordable drinking water.
Back at San Angelo Stadium, the Angry Orange making their way out onto the field right now to warm up. Cedar Park is already out here wearing their black and white uniforms. Looks like it may be white pants and the orange tops for the Bobcats tonight. Let's take a look at your players to watch for both teams right now. Malachi Brown. Malachi Brown, yeah, he needed a big game against Del Rio. He had one last week. He passed for 133 yards and 3 touchdowns. He's come a long way since he faced this team last year. He also ran for 51 yards last week, showing the great running skills he displayed last season. But there's more to the running attack this year than Malachi. It's beginning to develop as a strong weapon for the Bobcats. Chris Jackson had 81 yards rushing and 2 touchdowns last week. He averaged 11 yards per carry. The defense, dominating effort, smothering effort against Del Rio. Kyson Snelson, what a game he had. He blocked a punt and recovered it for a touchdown. He also had an interception in the second half and blocked another punt before the touchdown. So a great game for Kyson and the defense for the Angry Orange. The Timberwolves returned 7 starters on offense and 5 on defense under head coach Carl Absek. Now the Wolves were 8-4 overall and area finalists last year, 5-1 in District 11 5A. They came into the 2019 season this year ranked number 9 in Class 5A Division I by Texas Football Magazine. They dropped out of the top 10 because they lost their season opener to a tough Austin Vandergrift Viper team 17-0. They bounced back to defeat Round Rock Cedar Ridge 26-14. Junior quarterback Ryder Hernandez threw for 142 yards against Cedar Ridge last week. His favorite target in the air, Coach's son, Gunnar Absek, who caught 5 passes for 52 yards last week. They have a running attack too. The running attack for the Wolves is led by senior Brock Johnson. He had 62 yards on 14 carries and 2 touchdowns. Like I said, they are very proud of their defense at Cedar Park. They're called the Black Rain, and they're going to try to rain on our parade here at San Angelo Stadium tonight. Coming up, we'll talk about the keys to the game for the Bobcats when the pregame show continues on San Angelo Game Night Live. The San Angelo Central Band, I hear the drum beat. They're about to make their grand entrance here at San Angelo Stadium tonight. I'm Darren Prater. Remember, you can join us for pregame and postgame shows on Concho Sports Network all over the place. All you have to do is search Concho Sports on Facebook and YouTube, also on Roku and Amazon Fire TV. Thanks to our sponsors tonight. When we go to break, be sure and make note of those sponsors and go tell them that you like to watch our broadcast. Wingstop, great place to go get a good meal from Wingstop after the game. Also Maximus Nutrition. They even have cryotherapy at Maximus Nutrition. So you can do like Antonio Brown and go forget to put your boots on, burn your feet, complain about it, and get signed by the Patriots. Maximus Nutrition. Check them out. Tell them you heard about it on Game Night Live. What do you say? Let's take a look at the keys to the game for the Angry Orange, the Central Bobcats tonight. Got to spread the ball around in the passing game, and they started doing that last week. Malachi Brown again had success throwing the ball to all-star, who really emerging, Tanner Dabbert. 2 touchdowns last week. This is becoming quite a combination, Brown to Dabbert. But he also had success with some other receivers, and they need to spread that around and use all of their weapons. Christian Gabaldon had a touchdown. Hayden Fox and Jalen LaFesti both had catches last week. So it's important they spread the ball around, use all the weapons. The running game, well, it's starting to become a thing for the Bobcats. Starting to become a major weapon. Malachi Brown, we know he knows how to run, but now he has some help on the ground. Chris Jackson, get him the ball. Get it in his hands early, along with Ashton Hartsfield, Cameron Sarzosa, and of course Brown. That's 4 threats on the ground. Get the ball to Chris Jackson, let the other guys have the ball, and get that running game cranked up. For the Bobcat D, well, they did great last week. They held Del Rio to only 1 first down in the first half. And they've got to continue to be dominant on defense. This is one tough team that's coming in here this week. Force some turnovers. Force some big turnovers. Give the offense the short side of the field. Kyson Snelson had an interception, 1 of 3 on the night for the Cats. Ty Casey and Colby McSherry last week, we got to give them some props. They also had 1 interception apiece. So running attack, spread the ball around in the air, and dominate on D, force turnovers. That's how they can beat this team tonight from Cedar Park. And that's your keys to the game on San Angelo Game Night Live. My name is Darren. We'll come back in just a minute and wrap this one up. And if you're on your way out to the stadium tonight, do drive safely and be sure and join us for the postgame show. We'll be back to wrap up the pregame show right after this when Game Night Live continues. That means 2. That means 1. Hey, I'm Darren. Welcome back to San Angelo Game Night Live as we wrap up the pregame show under an hour away from the 7 o'clock kickoff between San Angelo Central and Cedar Park. I have a couple of special guests here. Go ahead and introduce yourself. What's your name?
Hi, I'm Kaylin Edwards.
And who's your partner here?
I'm Boston Braden.
Kaylin and Boston. Okay, you guys had some shirts on earlier. You changed into your cheerleading uniforms. And what did those shirts say?
They were basically about our Banneker buddies. We had an entire pep rally today's dedicated to our special needs kids. We call them our Banneker buddies, and we just work with them and teach them our cheers, and we will do anything for them.
How long have you guys been doing this?
Well, ever since I was a sophomore, we've been having these pep rallies. So for probably about 4 years or so, I guess I'd say.
Oh, wow. That's a really good thing that you guys are doing. Well, we appreciate you talking to us tonight. How long have you been in cheerleading?
4 years.
4 years. Do you do all that dangerous stuff, like the jumping and flipping around and all that?
Oh, yes. I have the scars to prove it.
Oh, man. What did you tear up?
Well, a cheerleader fell and I caught her.
At least you caught her.
Oh, yeah.
How about you? Any major injuries?
I've had 2 elbow surgeries, and I'm currently still out.
Really?
Yes, I've had 2 scars right now.
Golly, see, people don't realize just how tough cheerleading is. Do you guys compete later on in the year?
Yes, we do. We have a competition coming up in about 5 months.
Is that pretty fierce, the competition? Does it get pretty fierce between the various squads?
Definitely. Our coach likes to look to try and see what the other team scores.
Oh, wow.
Before we compete and go on to see how good they are, just so he can get a before thought of how we're going to place. He's all about it.
Does the coach give you all a pep talk before, start yelling and stuff?
Always. Every time. Every time.
Well, you guys, hope you're injury-free tonight and enjoy the game, and we'll talk to you another week. How about that?
Thank you.
All right. That's going to wrap up the pregame show. Now, be sure and join us after the game. We're going to talk to Coach Davis, some players. We'll have stats, and we'll have your Angry Orange and Cedar Park highlights. That's immediately after the game tonight right here on the Concho Sports Network. Until then, I'm Darren Prater. Hope you enjoyed the pregame. We love y'all. We'll see you after the game on San Angelo Game Night Live.